This violent assault on the concept of human intelligence is coming back at you in glorious 720p. Or as I like to say, 1K. Because who needs 4? Alright, so very briefly I'm just going to say, to all the people who think that moving to South Carolina is such a great idea, please stop.
Huh?
It's way too crowded here. Traffic is horrible. I mean, do you want Chicago-style traffic in a city a fraction of its size? Because that's what you're going to get if you move to Greenville. And I don't even think that's much of an exaggeration. Might be a little bit, but it can't be much of one. I was just out there fighting my way through traffic, just slogging my way through traffic today in a vehicle that doesn't have air conditioning in 98-degree heat. And by the way, with a heat index of 105, it was pretty miserable. Do you want to live in those kinds of conditions? Do you want to spend $500,000 on a slab house in a cookie-cutter subdivision full of slab houses that's 20 miles away from downtown? Because that's what's going to happen if you move to Greenville. Or, alternately, you could spend $900,000 on a Soviet-style condo near downtown. Or you could spend $1,600 to $1,800 to $2,400 per month to rent a fake Soviet-style apartment. That is, I'm going to call it a fake pastiche of a Soviet apartment because, well, it has that general soul-crushing aesthetic of square architecture and industrial building materials. A lot of these buildings are actually made out of plywood. They're built like a movie set, not intended to last 50 or 60 years like these old Soviet apartment blocks, but more like built like a movie set, like I said, something that's not intended to last. And really the only purpose of those buildings is to make money for the company that initially sells them, or to make money for the developer building them. And as soon as that money has been made, their purpose has been served, and housing you is only a secondary function. And that's what you're going to get if you move to Greenville, unless you spend around $1 million on a nice older house near town, which we still have some of those. And a lot of them have been turned into lawyers' offices and insurance offices. It's kind of sad walking through what used to be a neighborhood and there's just nothing but insurance offices, real estate offices, and lawyers' offices in really nice, old, classy houses. You know, beautiful early 20th century American craftsman bungalows. You know, I would love to have a house like that. But unless you're willing to spend up to $1 million on something like that, you're going to get a $500,000 slab house in a subdivision full of identical $500,000 slab houses. And you're going to fight traffic that nearly rivals Chicago traffic in a city a fraction of the size of Chicago. And at night, at 9:45 at night, it is going to be around 85 degrees with humidity that you could literally drown in. Yeah, I know, I admit that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it really doesn't feel like much of one. I mean, sweat is just pouring down my face right now. So yeah, I just had the thought of just like, God, please help me move away from this miserable place. I hate feeling like I'm going to have a heat stroke at 9:45 in the evening. So I guess that's going to be the conclusion of this video. I'm going to make this one short and sweet. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that other crap. Maybe donate towards me fixing my car's air conditioning if you really want to be a saint and help make my life a little more bearable. Or even, I don't know, help me get St. George a pipe organ, because St. George should have a pipe organ. And if you're wondering why I'm campaigning for a Greek Orthodox church to get a pipe organ, I could point you to some other videos. Thank you very much and have a great night.